You're listening to Real People's Media. If you don't know who we are, you will soon.
Just in my personal perspective, tonight was a very productive beginning of a counseling procedure that takes a amount of time, because the biggest benefit of it is that the people did convene themselves, looked at an intense issue. They're looking at it within within us as a people. I was so proud tonight, the people in that house. We concluded it, which meant we all set our differences aside and looked at the issue for what it was. That's huge. 2, the amount of people that showed up that were newcomers, that felt comfortable debating an issue of that importance. And 3, that they're actually taking the time to look at what we can do to better ourselves as a people. Them 3 things alone are a success. Where the issue's in the well and there's no official outcome, because the people need time to counsel privately and safely to come to the best decision. So that's my perspective of how the meeting. Now, the 3 direct issues that are in the well, I'm going to let the Bear Clan, Jamie will tell you what them 3 specific issues are that are in the well.
What was the protocol in terms of the meeting? Like, how did it start, or what was followed? If you just, not necessarily what was done, but how was it done?
Well, because it was such an important issue, the number one thing was to ease the minds of the people on the process of what we were embarking in. So the first thing was to be clear with the people of how our process works, and to maintain in accordance with the circle wampum and the counseling procedures that were given to us by Daganawida, the peacemaker himself. So how it started, and generally how most important issues start in the house, is that the people come together and the people that have the issue present what their issue is. They inform of every detail that they know of about the issue. They open it up to questions from any side of the house on the issue, so that the people can gather as much information as they can, so that they can counsel properly in their clans. So when they put it in the well and the procedure starts, it's allowing the correct time to actually get to the people's council. Because we have 9 different clan families in the Mohawk Nation, and Tyendinaga is mainly comprised of Mohawks, then technically there's 9 families that are going to be discussing this issue to come back together as 3 families. Like a turtle clan, we have 3, but we separate into sometimes 3 individual clans and then come back as our whole turtle clan before we meet with the other 2 sides. So that process sometimes takes a little bit of time. And that's our concern, is because generally during that time when our process is being looked at by the people, generally patience becomes an issue. And the other side, sometimes the external forces get impatient with how long our true democratic process can take. Especially in today's society, when there's social differences that we're trying to deal with, that are spoke about in that Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that we're dealing with repairing ourselves and dealing with world issues, community issues, and issues individual. So the patience is what we're asking, so that the people truly have that time to look at it from all angles of the issue and come up with the best solutions and the best regulations and the best product safety that we're asking for, and that the shops are willing to adhere to. So given that time frame that it's in, there's no official outcomes of the meeting, because it's just been put into the well, and the people now have their time to process it. In any other circumstance, the external force usually takes this time to attack us, to disrupt our decision-making abilities. So I know there's people, and men and women and children amongst the community, that are very nervous that they're going to do the same tactic that they've always done before, and they're going to show up and try to put fear in the community by a big show of force during the time in which the community is supposed to be peacefully looking into this issue using our Constitution. So it raises a side issue that the men need to discuss about protection of the people's voice and counseling procedures. And that's all I can say. Yeah.